Okay, what I'm going to do and what I started doing is um, I'm making this envelope actually, which is actually could be like a booklet that opens this way. It has this little pocket right here that it slides into, and the first few I made, I did a couple of three things. This would have been the back of the paper, which was white, and I pasted some paper in there. But this is what I'm going to be making because the new and improved version is, I started one this morning, and this was the new improved version, and this has the same print. And what I just showed you on the computer was how I just put a little square of a rectangle, I suppose, and I turned the printer came out this way, obviously not folded, and then I printed this piece. Now that's what I'm going to show you how to fold now. So I've got this piece now, and I hope I have it all in frame. Let me see if I can get some of this stuff off my table. I've been making these like crazy because they're just so much fun to make, and every time I get a new idea. I own a lot of digital papers, and I use these to play with and make a bunch of things, different things. Okay, so let me get this last few pieces out of my way. There we go. Anyway, so this is the thing that I made. This is a background paper, and then if anybody wants me to make a couple of videos showing how I use my Silhouette Studio software, which is free. You don't. It's made for a cutting machine. The Silhouette. Let's see, what is it called? I forgot now. Let me see if I can figure that out. Cameo and other machines. Okay, Silhouette Studio, but the software I've had for years, and it has been enabled me to do things that could not have been done back then as easily without a big expensive app or software. So I've been using it for years, and it is free, and now I use it mostly to create things that I'm going to print, like this, and many, many, many other things. But I love the design element of it. I have more control over it. Of course, now there's more capability than when I first started, like Canva and Photoshop, if you're expert at Photoshop. But all those things cost extra money, and I love the free software. Now I do have the paid version. I have to say I bought the business version, which is a one-time fee, not a monthly fee, not a yearly fee, but a one-time fee, and you get all the upgrades updated with every new update. So it was a very worthwhile investment years ago. I'm not going to talk about the differences between the business version I have and the basic version, because about 90% of the capability, I believe almost 100% of the capability I use to do these papers is within the free basic version. There's a few things I do use often, and if anybody wants me to work to help you learn on the Silhouette Studio software, I'd be happy to help any way I can. But I don't even use all of the functions that it has. There are some I couldn't explain very well either, but there's a couple that I find extremely valuable and I use all the time, which is why I have the business version. One-time cost. Years ago I paid it, and that was it. Okay, so now getting back to this diagonal. Now you see I've printed it on the back. I think it came out a little darker because it was actually printed from down here, but that'll make it more interesting. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the center. I'm not going to score it or pinch it, just on the two ends. And frankly, I could just make a little mark just so I can see it. Yeah. Let's see if I can just make a mark. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see this one, and I don't want to ruin it, so I'm not going to do much there because it really is close. Okay, I think I can see it. And if not, I can feel it. So what I'm going to do is make what they call a covered fold. Yeah, you go to the center and line up the edge, and I can check it like that. And then so I know that's going to work. And down here, I believe it's right there. I think I've got the thing not showing. Anyway, let's be close enough. I'm going to get a little bit bigger. Anyway, this is where I made the fold and brought it to the middle. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here, and I'm going to butt it up. My next iteration is probably going to have a strip of the paper added to that square that goes all the way down, so that I'll have the same coloration, just a little tiny, long rectangle. Print that out, and that way I'll have the same. I won't run into white, although I'm doing a pretty good job of folding it now. All right, so now that's the first fold. That's the easy one. And then I'm going to flip it this way, and I'm going to fold it in half. Yeah, fold it in half this way. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I did want to try something, so that's what I'm doing now. And then bring this up to the half point again. And now in order to make the fold that this flips inside, which is right here, you see we're going to make a lot of folds right in here. That's what I'm going to do next, just so you'll know. So what you do is you take this fold, which is now a mountain fold, and you create a valley fold. So just flip it around. Then you take that new fold and you bring it up to, not with this, just with this, up to that center line. Okay. And that takes care of that. Now, in the beginning, I have to tell you, this was more complicated. This side was more complicated than this side, although everything I looked at to learn made it sound like this was more complicated. But I had more trouble with this, and I cannot tell you why. I think I'm not even going to tell you what I kept doing, so you won't do it. So now I've got to reinforce these two lines so I'll be able to see them, because I really need to see them, like right in here. And down here. So I'm back over here, and I have folded this up, and now I'm going to take each of these corners and fold it to the thing. And you know you're doing it right when you have this little piece sticking out. That's a little guide. It kind of tells you you're on the right, and as well here. Okay? And then you take this, flip it up, and now this is the part you also want to, but instead of moving, let's say you move it, let's see if I can find it, and you move it up to this line, this fold line, right like that. So it goes like so. Okay, and same on the other side. And then you pull it back over it like so. And then you turn the piece into its original fold. And what you have there is a lovely pocket here, 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 and here. But what's lovely about this, because I finally figured out how to do it, is I printed. I'll show you in a minute some of the other alternatives that I tried and didn't like them near as well as I like this. And since I could do it with my software, I did it. All right, now you take this part, and I know it's not perfect up there, but I'm hoping it won't matter, and I'm thinking it won't. I'm going to bring, and it's easier if you do both of these at the same time, I'm told. And you have to scooch this over a little bit. It's not going to really matter, to tell you the truth. I'm going to just do it, and that's that. Okay, so you try to get these as even as possible, however, and they should be meeting on this line. So let's do that. Okay, I've got that nice and crisp. And this is the one that's supposed to be so hard on this side. I had a harder time down here. But I had to really work at it. So now you take this bottom corner and you crease it like so. This bottom corner, and crease it like heading in that direction. Not on here, but from this corner up here. And here's where it helps. Have a pencil, or I think I probably should redo that and make it meet. And what I'm going to do, and you won't see this line, but I'm glad I've got orange ink. Okay, so there it is. And now what you do is you pull this out, and you're going to fold. And if you run your finger or a scoring tool down there, actually all it takes is a fingernail, however, and you just bring it back down. You have this little white tail, and you do the same thing over here. Pull it out, hold the finger, crease it right there, and flip it down. Now, these two white things do not go underneath here. They go in each other, okay, on the top, just like that. And then you take these two pieces down here and just fold them up, and yeah, see what I mean about having that extra piece that of color. But you can just use watercolor or a marker or something, or just an inking thing. Now we've got this envelope. It's more than an envelope, actually. So this did not work out the way I wanted. What I really need to do the next time, I wanted to see how it would work. So I took you along for the ride. And now I'm going to make this little girl smaller. Because look, and besides, I put her in the wrong spot. This has taught me a lesson. It's not so great, but I'll still get to use it. But now I'm going to go back while I'm thinking about it. And this is my sweet little thing. And what it does is it enables me to, and you'll see plenty that I did. Here's another one I did. I love this one. Is if I have a little zine, as most of you know, I am zine crazy. And this is made with a single sheet of copy paper. And what I will do is either staple it, but I don't think my staple will reach, or do a regular pamphlet stitch in the middle. That's probably what I'll do. That's what most of the instructions that I followed. Do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and then actually add a couple more pages to this, so there'll be places to write on. And then you close it, and it's kind of like its own contained cover for a zine, which will go into a pocket. And then I have a whole bunch of other little things, new things that I have made, like this. You can stick that in there. It actually holds it down better if you do. If you have some little thing to, these are just fun little things that I've made with this design, this software that I have. These are mostly digital papers that I have bought. And, you know, you can just start putting them in here. You can also, so there we go here. Well, let me show you inside. You can also put a larger one, not a whole, I don't think a whole Well, I think yeah, here's another one. Actually, this is a smaller version of the same envelope, but I made it with a piece of paper that was laying around. So as you can see, it's much smaller. And this has a little something here, a little booklet actually, as it turns out. Look at that. I forgot that was in there, just out of book pages that I haven't adhered, but I could just stick that in there. Or what was I going to do here? No, actually this thing, this one here can fit. If this were this appropriate thing, it would fit right in there. So you could have the booklet, you can have this, and all kinds of little things in this sweet little packet. All right, so now I've seen my mistake. I'm going to stop this and then go back to my mock-up and fix it so I could make another one where the girl, my object was, she should be over here, not under here. So I'm going to pause this. Okay, now I'm back to my software. I'm going to take this piece and move it, put this piece on the back, and ungroup it, which is, I'll click it, and up here, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, right here is this is a group and ungroup. So everything all is moving as one. So I'm going to ungroup it using this symbol right here. So now this is a separate piece. Well, no, this would have to be, I'm going to keep this. This is grouped along with this one. So let's see. You see, this moved. So now I'm going to, hold on. Okay, what I just did was rotate it. I rotated it, and I'm going to make it just a teeny bit smaller. Now, what I can do is bring my little, and this is going to be where it's handy, bring my little template over, and I can see it's going to be too large over here. So I'm going to take that and make it just a tad bit smaller and put it like right about there. So now she is not going to have her head chopped off like I did before. Now, I don't know why I didn't think of that, but sometimes I just have to do things wrong so I can get things right. But anyway, here's how it goes. These are this fold and this fold are the cabinet folds toward the middle, which would be right here on the other side, on the opposite side. And then, of course, this is the fold that makes the, yeah, and that's going to work, I think. I'm going to just move her up a tiny bit. Yeah, because I don't want that fold where the paper's going to fold and create the, you know, this piece right here. So I need to have that up a little bit. So I'm going to just move her just up a little bit. Now this will be the top, and this will be this will be the pointy end. Let's see, no, that's going to be the pointy end up there, I believe. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, up there is going to be the pointy end, and then this down here is going to be that fold that will create this little slot for this thing to go in. Okay, so I think I'm done. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to try and make another one. I don't know what I'm going to do. I may change the background just for fun. I hate to do the same thing twice. So I'm going to move my grid, which I use for just a couple of purposes, and then save this. Oops, darn it. I think I'm going to save that exactly right where it was. Although, that didn't look right now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, of course not. Somehow or other I moved this. And I need to move it this way. But up a little bit. Yeah. Well, so I think that's probably going to be the good placement. Because this fold goes up to this line. And then half of this fold goes over here. So that might end up being just the right place. But I'm going to have to make another one. Anyway, I don't think anybody is interested, but I really wish somebody else would desire to use this free software because it is so fantastic and easy, and you don't need a cutting machine. It'll fool you because lots of the functionality of the machine has to do with cutting, but I use it to set up my things for printing. And the feature that I most use, and I will talk about that, is the fill style. I'll go up here and click that, and I'll show you even with this little wonderful, I'm going to move my grid. Whoops. That's the hardest part, is actually doing stuff like that. I'm going to click on my grid. So I got it selected. And then I'm going to go up here. It takes a while, so I may pause this. This brings up all the papers that I have put in here. And I'm going to just pause this for a while because it's starting to churn. See this little thing going around and around? And I have so many. It takes a little while, but once I have access to it, I can show you how I'm going to change this background. So let me pause this so you don't have to. Okay, by clicking on this thing right here, this is a fill window. It's called a fill window. And I have the Silhouette Studio. You'll see all of these patterns if you download the software because these are free. For example, I'm going to click on this one. Whoops. It's still churning apparently. Yeah, so now I've selected that. Now if I wanted to put this black and white check, I use this on the law. I just love the checks or the stripes. You see what it did right there? And now I'll go to the one that's striped, and I'll click on that, and I get a stripe. And then I can scale that down so that it's smaller. Suppose I wanted a real small one. See what I'm doing down here? Scaling it down. And then if I had picked a pattern, I'm not going to use this one, so I'm going to go find my other one. That I'm going to go down here. You can see all the patterns I have in here, and I can show you how to get your patterns, things that you own, in here as well. And I'm going to go to Bona. Let's see if I can find her. Let's see. I've got so many. I think I'm doing really well. I think that was it right up here. It was. Okay, so this is clicked over here because I filled it with that stripe. Now I'm going to look for the one that I want to use. I think I want to use, let's see. I'd like to have it match her dress. And I know I have one here. I just have to kind of find it. Oh, see, you want to watch this because I'm going to click this one, and now look. Oh, see, I could use that, but you see, because I have it such a small scale, all I have to do is make the scale larger. So that would be a different pattern, but that's not the one I wanted to use, so I'm going to busy over here to find it. Let's find this one. Oh, I love that. That's one of my favorites. But it doesn't quite go. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there it is. So that's, I think, the one I had. Is it? Yeah, this is the one I had. So if I wanted to make the same one, I would use that. Let's see, there's another one I thought, but I maybe don't have it. I thought I did. I do have another one that's, what's this? Click on this, and then click on this. And then I could pan the pattern. In addition to changing the scale, you know, I can make it go really big, or I can pan it. And when I make a pan, now just ignore this thing here because it's really talking about this. I could just pan it. Well, actually what I could do is make it bigger. Yeah, if I wanted to make this bigger and then pan it, I could eventually get that crease out of there. Yeah, and make it bigger, scale bigger. So I could use that as a pattern, which would be good. So I'm going to leave you, and then I'm going to figure out which one I end up wanting of these patterns that I have. I have so many. Oh, that one's kind of cool, and that does look pretty good. So, I think I might, although the wording, it doesn't really matter because nobody can read it anyway. Huh. It's a combination of foreign language. I might just use that one. It's kind of cool. Let's see if I can make it smaller. Then it would have an interesting closure on this side. You see what I can do? It's just so much fun to play with these. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that one. And the other thing I can do, which is nice, is see this thing here? If I wanted to make a border, you know, I can go to the line drawing over there, and up here is the color. So rather than picking one of these colors, which by the way, the thing I'm about to do is in the upgraded feature using the eyedropper. You know, I can just pick a color that I want. Let's say I want that brown. And then I could change the line around the drawing to brown, which it did. Now then I go to the other one here and I can make it thicker. You see what I'm doing? I'm actually sliding this bar over and making the drawing have a border thicker. All right, that's enough playing. If I have intrigued anybody about using the software for the like I do it here, I'd be happy to do some more videos on it. You can just do so many things, and except for the picking of the color, and I could have gone to pick that same color using the using this stuff down here. I could have picked the same color, or there's a number of browns I could have used that are already in the palette up here, the fill color. So even if you didn't have the little eyedropper tool that can be used, the basic version that costs nothing can do everything I'm doing except for that. So let me finish this and I'll add the finished version of the envelope once I get it printed.